Key 1. Outgrow them silently. The smartest revenge. There's a special kind of silence that speaks louder than words ever could. And that silence is personal evolution. When someone hurts you, lies to you, betrays you, mocks you, or tries to break your spirit, your natural instinct may be to lash out, to expose them, to prove your pain. But the most powerful, long-lasting way to destroy those who hurt you isn't with noise, it's with growth. Quiet, undeniable growth. What does it mean to outgrow someone? Outgrowing someone means you've reached a level they can no longer access. It's not about being arrogant or vengeful. It's about developing yourself to a point where their actions, words, or existence no longer affect your peace or progress. You don't need to block them. You don't need to curse them. You don't need to post subliminal messages on social media. You simply evolve so far beyond them that they become irrelevant to your journey. Think about it. The people who once had the power to hurt you only had that power because you were operating on the same emotional frequency. The day you rise above it, the game ends for them. Why is silent growth so powerful? Let's break it down. It shocks them. Most people expect a reaction. They thrive on your anger. They want to see you broken. But when you offer them silence and start leveling up in your life, it confuses them. They expected to see you fall apart. Instead, they see you glow up. It protects your energy. You can either spend your energy trying to prove a point, or you can invest that energy in becoming unrecognizable. Growth is peaceful. Revenge is exhausting. It turns the tables. Suddenly, they become the ones watching you, stalking your progress, wondering how you're doing better without them. The best part, you don't even notice anymore. Because you've outgrown the need to be seen by them. What does growth look like? You don't need to buy a mansion or start a company overnight to prove you've grown. Outgrowing someone shows up in subtle, powerful shifts in your mindset and lifestyle. You stop replying to drama. You stop explaining yourself. You invest in your body, mind, and goals. You stop waiting for closure. You build something real, a business, a skill, a future, and most importantly, you become comfortable in your solitude. Because when you stop needing their validation, they lose their grip over you. That's real power. Real-world examples of silent growth. Let's explore some quick real-life scenarios where silent growth becomes the ultimate clapback. 1. The betrayed lover. You gave everything. They cheated, ghosted, or moved on like you meant nothing. The old you would beg for closure. The evolved you hits the gym, learns a new skill, and 6 months later, you're glowing, dating someone better, or simply thriving alone. No messy texts, no revenge games, just growth. Now they see you doing better and feel it. They lost someone they'll never get back. 2. The hater at work. Someone at work constantly undermines you, spreads lies, sabotages your efforts. Instead of stooping to their level, you double down on your work ethic. You get the promotion. You become so good they can't ignore you. And one day, they report to you. You didn't need to expose them. You outgrew them. 3. The fake friend. They used you, gossiped about you, and then distanced themselves. Instead of fighting for the friendship, you walk away, you travel, you study, you build your brand. A year later, they watch you succeed from the sidelines while they're stuck in the same old loop. You didn't need to post a quote about betrayal. You let your life speak. How to begin the process of outgrowing one. Go inward first. Pain is a powerful teacher. Don't ignore it, learn from it. Reflect on how and why someone was able to hurt you. What wound did it hit? What belief did it shake? Then start healing it. Journaling, therapy, meditation. Do what you need to clean your emotional slate. To upgrade your environment. Your growth is limited by the spaces you stay in. Change your routine. Leave circles that no longer serve you. Replace toxic noise with educational input, books, podcasts, mentors. When you change your surroundings, you change your future. 3. Focus relentlessly on your goals. Make a list of the goals you shelved because of emotional distractions. Now is the time to attack them. Build that body, launch that project, take that trip, write that book. People who are busy becoming their best version don't have time for emotional chess. 4. Don't announce. Just move the moment you start posting "Watch me rise." Quotes, "You're still seeking attention from those who hurt you. That's not growth, that's noise. Let your life be so quiet, they can't tell if you're glowing or gone. By the time they realize, you'll be both." The final blow. Indifference. The real knockout isn't success or money. It's indifference. When you stop caring whether they notice your glow up, that's when you've truly outgrown them. Imagine they run into you years later. You're calm, smiling, at peace. Not because you're trying to prove anything, but because you're genuinely unbothered. You've healed, you've leveled up, you've built a life they no longer recognize, and one they no longer belong in. That's not just revenge, that's victory. Closing thought. Don't seek closure, become it. Waiting for an apology or an explanation keeps you stuck in their story. Write your own. Let your life become the proof that you were always worth more, not just to them but to yourself. You don't need to scream, post, or fight. Just grow, silently, consistently, completely, and one day they'll realize the version of you they tried to break no longer exists. Key 2. Master emotional detachment. The art of silent power. They hurt you, lied to you, disrespected you, mocked your dreams. Maybe they even tried to break you completely. And what did they expect in return? They expected noise, anger, rage, a breakdown, a desperate reaction. But when your response is complete emotional detachment, you win without uttering a word. This isn't about pretending to be okay. It's about becoming so emotionally disciplined that they no longer have access to your peace, your energy, or your mind. Because the moment you master your emotions, they lose all power over you. What is emotional detachment? Emotional detachment doesn't mean you stop feeling. It doesn't mean you turn cold, numb, or heartless. Instead, it means you learn how to respond, not react. You learn how to feel fully, without letting those feelings control your behavior. It's choosing to protect your inner world, no matter how chaotic the outer world becomes. It's telling yourself, they can hurt, lie, cheat, insult, ignore, betray, but they cannot pull me out of my peace unless I let them, and you don't. Why is emotional detachment so devastating to those who hurt you? Because people who hurt others often feed on reaction. They want to feel powerful. They want to know they got inside your head, that they're living in your heart rent-free, that they left a scar that still stings. When you react, they win, but when you respond with silence, grace, and forward movement, they become irrelevant. Here's why emotional detachment crushes them quietly. It leaves them powerless. They don't know what you're thinking. They can't measure the damage, and worst of all, they can't hurt you anymore. It confuses and frustrates them. People expect drama. When they don't get it, it breaks the pattern they're used to. They keep trying to poke, but your calmness becomes a wall they can't climb. It puts you in control. You decide what gets your attention, what gets your peace, what gets your energy. You are no longer a puppet pulled by emotional strings. That's true power, silent, unstoppable, permanent. How to develop emotional detachment. Step by step. 1. Feel the pain, but don't live there. Emotional detachment doesn't mean bottling everything up. It means processing your pain in private without turning it into a public performance. Journal it out. Cry in silence if you need to. Meditate, walk, breathe, but then let it go. Don't rehearse your trauma like it's your identity. Feel it, then free yourself from it. 2. Create emotional boundaries. Emotional detachment begins with boundaries. Here's how. Don't answer calls or messages just to explain yourself. Don't engage with online jabs, stories, or posts meant to provoke you. Don't stalk their life or compare yours to theirs. Most importantly, don't allow them space in your mind. Even thinking about someone who wronged you gives them free rent in your soul. Reclaim that real estate. Set mental boundaries as fiercely as you would physical ones. 3. Practice the pause before you speak. Before you text, before you post, before you clap back, pause, ask yourself, is this a reaction or a response? Will this bring me peace or more pain? Am I feeding their ego or starving their drama? When you pause, you give yourself time to choose peace over pettiness. That single moment of control rewires your emotional life. 4. Master the art of non-reaction. One of the most powerful things you can ever say is nothing. Someone posts a dig at you, stay silent. They gossip about you, let them. They send a long message trying to provoke you. Read it if you must, then delete it. Don't reply. Why? Because your silence burns louder than your words ever could. It tells them, you're not worth my peace. And that truth, it stings them harder than any insult you could craft. 5. Detach from the outcome. True emotional detachment is about releasing the need to control the outcome. You don't need closure. You don't need an apology. You don't need them to admit they were wrong. You don't need to prove your worth to anyone. You simply move forward, not because it's easy, but because you respect yourself too much to stay stuck in someone else's mess. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. What happens when you master emotional detachment? You'll notice things shift in a major way. 1. Your peace becomes untouchable no matter what's happening around you. Drama, betrayal, chaos. You'll find yourself grounded. Because you've learned to anchor your emotions inside, not outside. 2. You regain power over your life when you stop letting others decide how you feel. You take back your power. You become the CEO of your energy, and guess what? Not everyone gets a seat at your table anymore. 3. They start to feel irrelevant. The person who once consumed your mind, now just a passing thought. You don't even need revenge anymore, because your healing has made their harm pointless. A powerful reminder, reaction is a gift. Don't hand it out freely. Every time you react emotionally to someone who hurt you, you're handing them a gift, your energy, your time, your dignity. Don't give gifts to people who only ever came to take. Save your emotions for people who deserve them. And for those who don't, give them nothing, not anger, not tears, not access, just absence. Final words. Cold silence is the loudest thunder in a world obsessed with reacting, yelling, exposing, and proving. Be different. Be silent. Be detached. Be untouchable. Let your peace be your loudest response. Let your stillness be the storm they didn't see coming. And when they look for you in the old places, make sure they can't find you. You've moved on. You've leveled up. You've detached. And in doing so, you've destroyed them without saying a word. Key 3. Turn pain into power. Let success speak instead of you. When someone hurts you deeply emotionally, mentally, spiritually, the pain feels heavy, personal, and often unbearable. It can leave you broken, bitter, and stuck. But here's the truth. Pain is not the end. It's the beginning, if you choose to use it. The smartest revenge is not proving a point. It's not screaming louder or making them feel your suffering. It's transforming that very pain into the power they never saw coming. It's letting the very thing that was meant to break you become the fuel that builds the strongest version of you. And you do all of this without saying a word. What does it mean to turn pain into power? Turning pain into power is the act of channeling emotional suffering into something productive, purposeful, and transformational. It means you take the betrayal, the heartbreak, the failure, and instead of letting it define you, you redirect it into growth. You're not pretending it didn't happen, you're not minimizing it, you're simply refusing to let it own you. You turn your breakdown into a breakthrough, you let your scars shape your strength. Why is this the most devastating comeback? Because people who hurt you often expect to see you stuck in that pain. They expect you to stay broken, lost, bitter, and helpless. They think your future will be smaller because of what they did. But when you rise higher because of what they did, they don't know how to process it. Your success becomes a mirror reflecting their failure to destroy you. They see you, healthier, wealthier, stronger, calmer, more focused, and they realize they didn't break you. They built your motivation. That's the sweetest revenge of all. How to use pain as fuel for power. Step by step, let's break it down into actionable steps. Because emotional strength isn't just about talking strong, it's about building strong. 1. Sit with the pain, don't run from it. The first step to turning pain into power is facing it. Most people either suppress it or explode from it, but true warriors sit with it, you journal it, you cry through it. You reflect on it, you analyze it, you understand the lesson it's offering. Pain carries truth. If you avoid it, you miss the wisdom. Ask yourself, what is this pain trying to teach me? What part of me allowed this to happen? What must I now become so this never happens again? Your power lies in what you learn, not what you lose. 2. Set a power goal. Pain without purpose is poison. It will rot your spirit, but when you assign it a goal, it becomes your engine. Turn every hurt into a mission. Examples: heartbroken, build a body they won't recognize, betrayed by fake friends, create a business that makes them watch in silence. Rejected, learn a skill that makes you impossible to ignore. Let the pain fuel your focus. Use it to build a vision so bold it silences every critic, doubter, and enemy you've ever had. 3. Eliminate all distractions. Go monk mode. When you're in pain, the world will try to distract you. Parties, fake friends, social media, venting, revenge, plotting. Don't fall into the trap. Instead, go monk mode, shut it all down, get quiet, get clear, get working. Pain is loud, but healing is quiet. Build in silence, let your results be your voice. 4. Transform your pain physically. One of the most underrated ways to convert pain to power is through your body. Your body stores pain. Trauma, heartbreak, and emotional wounds live in your muscles, your breath, your tension. You release that by moving, lifting, running, stretching, training. Working out is not just for looks, it's therapy. It's spiritual, it's symbolic. Every drop of sweat says, I'm still here, and I'm not done yet. And trust me, nothing crushes your enemies more than seeing you look healthier, stronger, and more alive than ever before. 5. Build something that lasts. The deepest pain can be the birthplace of your greatest project. Whether it's writing a book, launching a business, starting a podcast, creating art, learning a new craft, building a YouTube channel, create. Because pain that produces something valuable is no longer pain, it's power, and the more you create, the less you chase. The more you build, the less you beg, the more you grow, the more irrelevant they become. 6. Cut emotional ties completely. To truly turn pain into power, you must stop reopening the wound. This means stop stalking their social media, stop waiting for closure, stop replaying the memories in your mind. Stop talking about them in every conversation. You cannot build a strong future while dragging broken pieces from the past. Let go, not because they deserve peace, but because you do. 7. Document the journey privately or publicly. Keep track of your rise. Document how far you've come. You don't need to share it with the world, but one day it might become someone else's survival guide. You'll realize, that pain made me, that wound shaped me, that betrayal launched me. Your pain becomes your story. And your story becomes someone else's hope. What happens when you turn pain into power? They lose control. The ones who hurt you can no longer pull your strings. You develop unshakable confidence, because you know what it feels like to die inside, and rise anyway. You create a legacy, not from privilege or ease, but from ashes and fire. They threw stones, you built a castle. They gave you poison, you turned it into purpose. That's real, quiet revenge, the most powerful flex. Healing silently, winning loudly. You don't need to tell the world you're coming back. You don't need to prove you're better. Just keep going, keep grinding, keep building, keep evolving. One day they'll look at you and realize they couldn't break you. They couldn't stop you. They couldn't even recognize the new you, because you didn't just survive. You transformed. And all of it started with pain. Final words. Let your success be the echo of your pain. You don't need to send them a message. Your glow will say enough. Your peace will scream louder than your pain ever did. Your progress will haunt their memory. So stop fighting, start building, turn every scar into a sentence in your success story. And let the story destroy them silently. Key 4. Live a life they can't touch. The ultimate silent victory. What's the ultimate revenge against those who hurt you? Not screaming, not proving, not fighting, not even winning in the traditional sense. The ultimate silent destruction is this: living a life so rich in peace, joy, purpose, and success, they can no longer touch you even with their memory. Because when someone tries to break you, what they really want is control. They want to occupy your mind. They want to live rent-free in your heart. They want to shape your future by corrupting your present. But when you rise quietly, gracefully, and build a life that is so elevated, fulfilled, and protected by peace, you don't just move on. You move beyond, and that's something they can never undo. What does it mean to live a life they can't touch? It means creating a reality for yourself where their opinions, presence, and past behavior no longer affect you. You don't think about them, you don't seek revenge, you don't respond, you don't react, you don't even feel the need to heal for them to see. You simply live. And live so well they fade away in the shadow of your success. This isn't about material riches, though success can include that. This is about emotional, mental, spiritual, and personal wealth. Why is this the most devastating form of silent revenge? Because people who try to hurt you often expect a piece of you to stay broken. They want you to stay bitter, stay obsessed, stay angry, stay stuck. But when you live a life that radiates freedom, peace, and wholeness, they realize they failed. And that realization, that they no longer matter in your life, is the deepest cut of all. The elements of an untouchable life. Let's break it down into what this looks like in real, everyday terms. 1. Emotional peace. You're no longer triggered. You don't flinch when you hear their name. You don't replay the past. You don't daydream about revenge or karma. You've found peace, not because they deserved forgiveness, but because you deserved freedom. This level of peace is rare and powerful. It means they no longer control your inner world. 2. Purpose. Fueled living. You've shifted your focus. You're building something. A brand, a family, a purpose, a future, a lifestyle. You're waking up each day with clarity, mission, and direction. Their chapter in your story is over, and you've started a whole new book, with no mention of their name. This purpose becomes your shield. It keeps you focused, it keeps you growing, it keeps you moving forward silently but powerfully. 3. Physical, financial, and mental independence. You've elevated your physical health, your financial standing, and your mental strength. You look better, you think sharper, you carry yourself with calm authority, you no longer depend on validation. You don't need someone to understand you, you're not proving anything. You've built self-trust, the rarest power of all. They can no longer touch you because you don't need anything from them anymore. 4. A strong, healthy circle. Your new life is surrounded by people who uplift you, not drain you. You've replaced the toxicity with authenticity. You laugh again. You grow together. You love and feel safe. The old connections, the people who hurt you, they're out of the equation. They don't even get to hear the new music in your life. And that silence, it echoes back at them louder than any insult. How to build a life they can't touch. Step by step. Step 1. Go ghost on them. For real, stop checking their pages. Stop looking for clues about what they're doing. Stop hoping they'll see how you're doing. Block them. Delete the photos. Remove mutual triggers. Why? Because you're not building your life for them to witness. You're building it for yourself to live. Step 2. Fall in love with your routine. Revenge is emotional. But routines are transformational. Get up early, work out, learn something new daily, build a project. Meditate, read, create. Every day you stick to your system, you build a stronger, smarter, sharper you. Your discipline becomes your defense. Step 3. Protect your energy ruthlessly. Not everyone deserves access to you. Learn to say, no, I'm not available for that. No, I'm not going backwards. No, I don't engage with drama. The more protective you are of your peace, the fewer entry points you leave open for the past to find its way back in. Step 4. Build a bigger vision. Nothing keeps you focused and detached from the past like a massive future. Ask yourself, where do I want to be in 3 years? What kind of person do I want to become? What legacy do I want to leave behind? Write it down, build toward it, not for applause, not for revenge, for alignment, because the higher you aim, the smaller their role in your story becomes. What happens when you live a life they can't touch? They lose the power to distract you. Their name no longer carries weight. Your progress speaks louder than your pain ever did. They remember how they hurt you while you barely remember them. The same people who thought you'd fall apart now whisper about how well you're doing, and you're too busy building, living, and smiling to even notice. Final words, leave them behind without a word. The smartest, most savage thing you can do is outgrow everything they hoped you'd become. Let them choke on the silence of your absence. Let them wonder how you healed without them. Let them guess what you're doing now, because they're no longer invited into your life. Live so well, so fully, and so loudly with your peace and purpose, that they feel the sting of your glow every single time they remember your name. You owe them nothing, not a message, not a moment, not even a mention, just your success, just your peace. Just your distance. That's how you destroy them, without saying a word.